Hey Curtis, man. How's it going?
Yeah, good man. Good to have you in my house today.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
of your rich history, what you've learned over the years.
Yeah, man. So much. There's Curtis. There's so much history out there, man. So much history that we don't know, you know. But at the same time, some people get in history and they're confusing themselves. They're not getting the history in the right context. You know what I mean? So the other day I was talking to you about when I was talking about Lewis Latimer. Yeah, Lewis Latimer. So he was born in America, and believe it or not, he was born during the slave period. So I think he was born about 1846. Lewis Latimer is known for being involved in lighting, in the invention of lighting, or the development of lighting. He's kind of instrumental in that arena of development. So some people say, like even just recently, Joe Biden, he was saying that he was the one that invented the light bulb, but now people are correcting Joe Biden. Said no, Lewis Latimer made the light bulb better. So he made it better by improving the filament and the way the filament was made. So he got a patent for an improved lamp or light bulb, or I think the correct term is incandescent lamp. He got a patent for that, for improving it, and then he also got a patent for improving the actual filament inside that lights up. So, and he's also known for he invented a system, like when you go on a train and you got the toilet. Back in the day, the toilet was in early stage of development. He improved that. Him and another guy, I can't remember the other guy's name. He improved it so it was like they call it a water closet. The other thing he was known for was he's been a draftsman. So the draftsman would be the one that draws technical drawings for anybody that's invented something. So if you invented something, you'd have to get a draftsman in to come to draw the technical engineering drawing, so you can take that drawing and submit it to the patent office. He went to work when he was at the age of 15. First of all, he went into the Navy. Then he left the Navy, I think in 1863, and that's when he worked for a company, and he was a patent office. It's a patent office, so he was actually working as an office boy. You know what I mean? Working as an office boy. While he was there, he was a patent office, so he's seen all the drawings and everything. He's seen all of the drawings, and he's seen the draftsman and that, and he started to inspire himself to become a draftsman. So he would study all the drawings, and he would go to the library and look at books and teach himself how to become a draftsman. And so basically, his manager noticed that he could draw, and gave him a job as a draftsman. He promoted him from office boy to a draftsman. You know, he's also well known for the fact that he worked with some notable inventors, other inventors other than his inventions. I mean, he was an inventor himself. He became an inventor, but he worked with other inventors, which people know. So one of them is Alexander Bell, who invented the telephone. So Lewis Latimer worked with him as a draftsman. So Alexander Bell, the night before he submitted the patent for the telephone, Latimer was up with him all night, doing the drawings and everything, and they had to submit the drawings to the patent office. So Bell got the actual patent before anyone, because there was other people in America and probably other countries that was developing a telephone also. But he got in there first, and we know him, like some schools, a lot of schools, they teach Alexander Bell as the one done the telephone. But what they don't realise is that there's other people involved. But anyway, that's sidetracking a bit, but that's just to add to what the importance of Latimer working with Alexander Bell, and getting his patent through to the office on time. You know, He also worked with another guy named Hiram Maxim. So Hiram Maxim's another American, and Hiram Maxim also worked on bulbs or lamps systems, or the developing a lamp. But people only hear about Edison.
Edison, okay.
Yeah, so a lot of people hear about Edison because he's the one that in most history in school talk about Edison because he was one of the greatest inventors of that period. But he had a company, had other guys working for him. But they don't tell you that Hiram Maxim, which is another guy, had his own company called I think it was called something Lighting Company, American Lighting Company. I can't remember the name of the company. But Latimer worked with him as a draftsman also, but also worked in developing the lamp with him. So the lamp was developed, the improved lamp was done when he was working for Hiram Maxim. So Latimer was working for Hiram Maxim, developing the lamp, and then he went on to develop the filament inside. So the filament, there was loads of filaments out there. They were called carbon filaments, but there were different types of carbon filament. So Edison had a carbon filament that So Edison was working. It's almost like, I don't know if you get me now. They're working in parallel. Hiram Maxim had his own company, and Latimer was working for him, and Edison was over another part of America working on light. And so Edison managed to get his light patent before the others, and so Edison, his name went up in lights, and he was good at marketing. So Edison first displayed his light bulb in 1879, and then Latimer's improved one was a year or so later, 1881, something like that. So that's why they say Latimer was improving the light bulb. He wasn't the first one in America to do the actual lamp, but he was pivotal in making the lamp more commercial and easier to develop and to market it. Yeah, with Edison version, there was some problems where his first lamps that he produced, they would burn out. They would only last a certain amount of hours, and then he developed a better one. I think it was bamboo shoots or bamboo. Latimer, he did the thing that when you produce the carbon, it doesn't break. I think there were some problems when they was producing the carbon, where Latimer improved on that process, which made the light bulbs more efficient. While he was working for Maxim, they was contracted out to light New York, someplace in Canada. So they started putting street lights in with their system. Their system, like Edison had his system, and Edison was doing his thing, but Maxim at the time and Latimer was working together, and Hiram Maxim promoted Latimer to the chief engineer after he got the patent for the improvement of the process of the carbon filament. Hiram Maxim promoted him to be senior engineer, and he sent him all over the world. Sent him to Montreal, Canada, and he was supervised all the lighting in certain parts of Montreal. Latimer learned to speak French just to go there, so that when he went there and he could speak to the people supervising them, they could understand him. This is the kind of level this guy was at. He could actually just pick up new skills, like from working in an office, learning to be a draftsman, then being hired by Alexander Bell, and then hired by Hiram Maxim. In that time, he went from draftsman to being an inventor, and he's a guy that could learn, pick up things, and so he spoke French, and to get through to be successful in the work in Canada. And then he was sent to London. He sent to London in 1882, and we're here in London here now, and we're not even too far from where Latimer was working. Latimer he came to London with Hiram Maxim. Now, for years, I didn't realise that him and Hiram Maxim, I don't know whether they came on the same ship or whatever, but it took me ages to research to find out that Maxim even sent Latimer here. I thought Latimer came on his own, because when he came here, I didn't realise, I thought he was working for Edison, but he was working for Hiram Maxim. Hiram Maxim came to England. I'm not too sure whether they came together, but they was both here, and Hiram Maxim sent him out to do the lighting in London. And the place that he did the lighting, the first place did the lighting in London, is a famous place to us here in England, and it's southeast London, in a place called Brixton. So that's where he did two things in London actually. First of all, he set up a factory in London to show the guys how to do the filament and the bulbs. So Latimer actually trained the guys how to blow the actual glass to produce the bulb, and then he showed them how to. Even though obviously glass blowing has been around for years in England, but it probably was done in a special way to create the bulbs or the lamps. And then he instructed them how to do the process of the filament, and the factory was set up for that. So he set up a factory, and within 9 months it was set up and running. Latimer did that. This was in 1882. So imagine how much years ago that is. I'm sure Queen Victoria was, I can't remember exactly when she went on the throne, was probably on the throne already, or she was within that sort of period. And so he's here in London. And another thing, another dynamics of the whole thing, is that he's a black guy. In that period of time, a black guy instructing people, other like English people. The English people, some of them didn't like it. That this guy come from America, he's a black guy, because in those days there was a certain view of what a black person should be and what status they should be in terms of work and what kind of stuff. But he's actually there instructing people how to do the factory or for this actual lighting. And so, because he said, he wrote in his own journal that when he came to England, he was in hot water, and when he left England, he was still in hot water. In other words, right through the actual visit to England and what he did here, he was in hot water, but at the same time, he accomplished what he came to do. And so he was in Brixton. He went to a place called Brixton, southeast London, and then a road is named after the work that he did there. And the road is named Electric Avenue. And a lot of people that live in London, like us, when we grew up, we used to go to Brixton. People used to go to Brixton to go shopping and whatever. But we didn't realise that road, Electric Avenue, is actually named after the guy, or not so much after the guy, after what the guy did, which was Lewis Latimer.
So look at that. That's an amazing fact that most of us probably don't even know.
That's it. That's it.
News to me today, hearing it today.
That's it. Most people don't know that. That's when you learn these histories, you get to realize how America is connected with England, and obviously African Americans or Black Americans are connected with England, and some of the achievements that they did not only in America, but they came over here and did certain things. So basically, that's, even though we've touched a lot of areas, that's what Lewis Latimer was actually known for. Two reasons I think why we don't know about these things. Obviously, I say obviously, but I think the people that write history, even though sometimes the thing's written down somewhere, the people that promote it to take it to the schools or whatever, they only pick and choose what they feel is important to them, to their interests. I think that's what it is. It's like, some people, like I would see this as important to me, and certain people that come from the same background as Lewis Latimer said, that's important. Look, a person did that, from my background, and it's important that the children know that. But another person might not think that. They don't realize that could be important for other people to know that, and so they leave it on the shelf. That's what happens. The history is there, but it's just left on the shelf. It's not been picked up. It's only now people starting to pick these things up more and trying to present them so that everyone gets a fair, can see what history, a balanced history. A balanced history is what we need.
Highly.
You know what I mean? Because it's not only one type of people that's invented. There's other types of people that's invented all over the world.
That's right.
And we need.
I'm sure you will touch on them along the way.
Yeah, definite, man. So that's Lewis Latimer, and even though we haven't heard about him now, it's now that we're revealing him, and it's good that we get to understand that there's guys out there that done something great, and that's a long time ago.
Excellent.
Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you learned something. This is History on the Go again. I done something different today. I got my younger brother to give me an interview, and it was nice to sort of talk to him like I normally do in normal life. We share things, and so it was good to do it this way. And I hope that you liked what you saw. If you did, hit the like button, and if you enjoy this channel, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you have subscribed, please continue to wait out for my notifications, and please continue to watch, share what you learn with other people. Thank you.